Hello, my name is Master Roxas, and this is a quick overview of everything that we have learned about the Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent first anniversary celebration that is coming, thanks to in-game news and the Tavern Talk provided to us by the Square Enix community managers. The first anniversary for Champions of the Continent for the global version is coming this Wednesday, July 26th, and it is bringing a lot of surprises and goodies along with it. They are giving us a lot of content and a lot of amazing presents to go along with it. So to go all along with everything that we know, we're getting multiple login bonuses, a new guiding light, which is the memory champions. We're also getting free polls as well for guiding lights and an anniversary selector. We're also getting the Gameboard, special tasks, a photo event. We are also getting the Thief and Dancer Towers, and we are also getting Bestower of All Chapter 2, as well as monthly premiere passes, which I will be going over everything briefly now. So as you can see here with the login bonuses that we're going to get starting today, Monday the 24th, we got 8 rubies, tomorrow you get 80, and then on the anniversary itself you get 800 rubies, a first anniversary select any gen pool unit up to Eleonora that has been released. You get an anniversary scarf accessory, which is just basically a beastly scarf, but heals up to 365 HP per turn, so it's actually really good. Then we'll get every single day from the anniversary for the next 10 days through August 4th. You'll be getting 1 anniversary sacred seal a day. This sacred seal is going to be worth a single 10 pull on a special anniversary banner. You may use them as you get them, or you can save them all to the last day for 100 pulls back to back. That's what I will be doing because I'm crazy. Now, what I would recommend is whether you save them all for the end or pull them day by day, I would strongly recommend you do not use the selector fragments until you've done all 100 pulls, because the selector fragment will give you any general pool of your choice, but if that general pool is one that you've been wanting, if you happen to get it from these free pools, then you could pick somebody else. So that's why I would recommend waiting till August 4th to use your selector. And this is just the free banner, or what it looks like. Also coming are the memory champions. Herminia, Titos, and Auguste are coming from Master of Wealth, Power, and Fame, respectively. They are a new set of limited units called the Memory Champions Limited Banner, which means they will be their own specific limited pity pool. I will say for future banners that will have them, there is one more champion unit that releases in the future, Tatlock from Bestower of Power. She will probably not be releasing for several months, but if you do not get these characters here, and you might be able to get them on Tatlock's banner. Now, this banner will be a paid step-up and a free general pool banner at the 300 rubies per 10 pool. The pity is 200, and you will be able to pity any one of the ones you want. Being a triple banner, it will be a 0.6% rate up per unit on the pulls, which is more than the normal, so you have a slightly higher chance of getting all 3. The only problem this presents is it does make it hard to try to get the specific one that you want. As for the paid step-up, it will be 4 laps, and the 4 laps of the paid step-up will be 1,200 rubies per lap, and step 5 of the paid step-up will be like the near collab step-up, which will guarantee one of the 3 Memory Conqueror Travelers in step 5. So if you are a paid player, that gives you an option to guarantee one, but again, you can't choose. And I will say for the whales out there, which I'll be showing the skills in just a second, Auguste's A4 is very powerful. To briefly take a look at the champs. First up, I'll show that we have Herminia here. And Herminia is a very powerful hunter. She does have a lot of long-term value. Her biggest weakness comes from the fact that she's on a triple banner, so it's hard to specifically get her. That and bow and fan damage don't really last a super long time in the future meta that we know of. This is all subject to change. But as a unit herself, I would rate her at least an 8 out of a 10. She is very, very strong. She does have a tendency to want to inflict bleeding, and she does have a passive where her butler will appear and potentially inflict bleeding as well. If she gets bleeding, she does get extra damage up, which is very powerful for what she gets. Her A4 accessory is just caps herself 20% bow and fan damage up with a high chance to inflict bleeding. The only flaw that really has, besides the other stuff, is that bleeding is, as a status element, is usually resisted by most in-game bosses. So a lot of times, her best thing she doesn't get. However, her best skill is this one, which is the Arrowfall type skill that Woodalai has, but with her merchant skill. This lets her, at the start of every turn, do a 1x Bowie AoE before anybody takes an action, which can be very useful for setting up very, very powerful breaks. This is what also makes her a very powerful hunter for a later game, because you can use this to break and then allow 4 full units on 2 turns to break. Moving on, we'll go to Tidus. Tidus, I would say, is unfortunately the worst of the 3 champs. That's not to say that he's bad. I would say that he's either probably a 6 out of 10, maybe a 7. He is incredibly strong as a warrior. He has a unique debuff called Intimidate, which lowers the power, the defense of an enemy by a tiny bit. But that's not what it's for. The main reason of Intimidate's good is it buffs his own power, similar to how Herminia gets stronger when she has a bleeding enemy. He can dodge attacks as like a dodge tank, but it's really not that good unless you have a unit that can give him taunt. Or you use an accessory that gives taunt, like a Dea A4 or upcoming Serenoa's A4 from the Triangle Strategy collab. He does have a 4x sword single target, but the power is very weak. So his best move is his Mega Sword Nuke, which can get really strong. So then he ends up running into a problem of having damage cap issues, because he'll hit 99999 damage really, really easily. And he ends up getting power crept by a lot of future warriors to come because he doesn't hit any elemental weaknesses. So he is not a bad unit, but his lifespan, is, in my opinion, is somewhat limited. August, Mr. Marvelous himself, probably a fan favorite, is a good and strong unit who will definitely have a good bit of life in the global version for at least several months to come. He doesn't really start to get crept out until after Bargello releases. For all the whales out there, as I mentioned earlier, he does have one of the best A4s in the game. Being able to just straight up start with a max special gauge or ultimate gauge is extremely strong. August's gimmick is that whenever an ally dies or he uses his ultimate, he becomes impassioned for 4 turns, which gives him massive buffs and allows some of his best skills to get extra bonus effects. I will say a little cheeky gimmick that you can do is if you use 9S that most players should have, because he was given for free if you played during Nier, you can use 9S's skill that basically kills himself to give August Passionate Rage. So if you do go for August, keep that in mind. The main problem with August, as I said, is if he doesn't have his gimmick, some of his power can be lacking, plus not super strong multi-hits. So long term, his damage can fall off over better thieves. Plus, he does not have double cast. But he's still a very strong unit. I would definitely rate him as 7 or an 8 out of 10 as well. Moving on from the memory champs, we have the Traveler's Passes. A long-awaited feature that we have greatly wanted in COTC Global for a while that they're giving to us now. These are monthly subscription passes that are actually, in my opinion, a very good value. To show what the passes entail from the Tavern Talk, we have the Pioneer's Pass and the Grand Explorer's Pass, and you are able to get both at once if you want. The Pioneer's Pass will cost $8 every 31 days. You will get the 80 paid rupees like you paid $8 for, as well as an additional 5 bonus rupees per day in your mail. On top of that, you'll be getting a new resource called a paw print 3 times a day, and ad skip tickets for skipping Kate ads. In battle, you will gain 3 free continues per battle and double your XP and leave income, which really helps for leveling up units and making it to where you don't need to grind for nuts if you don't want to. The Grand Explorer's Pass will cost $12 per month, will giving you the 120 paid rubies that you would pay for, as well as 10 bonus rubies a day. On top of every time when you initially purchase it, you will gain 2,000 Awakening Stone shards. This is equivalent to destroying 2 extra Awakening Stones in the new exchange that is being added in the new update. Basically, you can destroy extra Awakening Stones, and for every 6 that you destroy, for 6,000 shards, you can buy any 1 Awakening Stone of your choice if that unit stone is in the shop. Not all units will be available on the release of the exchange. I believe it usually takes about 6 months after a unit's released before they're added, give or take. On top of that, the Grand Explorers class will give you 5 paw prints a day and 3 ad skip tickets. On top of, you'll gain an extra 4 party set formations. You'll get an extra 2 guide stones per hunt for characters that you use. And you'll get double materials and leaves when you sell them to the shop, making farming less tedious for farming new weapons. If you get both together, that'll be $20 a month, giving you mainly 8 paw prints a day. And if you get 8 paw prints a day, it will take you about 37.5 days to gain enough paw prints to exchange for a Veteran Sacred Seal, which is a guaranteed 5-star from the general pool. I would recommend saving for this over spending 30 for a Traveler Seal, because in my opinion, 1 guaranteed 5-star is better than 10 random chance for a 5-star. Moving on from the Pioneer's Pass, we also have the Thief and Dancer Towers coming. This will allow you to get the ultimates for Redo and Glossom, as well as awaken them slowly over time, just like the other challenges, and gain a guaranteed Thief Seal and the 30% Dagger accessory and 30% Fan Damage accessory. Very good. They function just like the other towers, so good extra content. As I said before, we are getting Bestower of All Chapter 2. You get the story memories for the memory champs, whether you pull them or not. The Fortunes Gameboard, I will not go into detail here, as Momen has made a very, very good video explaining the Gameboard in great detail that I will be linking in the description below. If you want to know how the Fortune Gameboard works, all its gimmicks, and how the Fortune weapon system works, I would strongly recommend watching that video. And just as a brief overview, this is just what you get from the first anniversary, just as a quick look. We're getting 888 rubies total, the selector fragment, and 100 free pulls. We are also getting special anniversary tasks that if you're a day 1 player, you're going to be able to auto-complete almost all of these right away, with 10 Traveler Sacred Seals being available upon completing challenges for the game board. And then the final thing to note will be the anniversary packs for people that like to buy paid rubies. This right here, I would say, is a very good deal, because for the total price of $60, you can get 1,200 paid rubies. This would give you 1 full step up on the champs if you really want to guarantee you get one of them. Or I do know that later in the future, at a later date, we think it'll be with the first 1.5 anniversary, but it could be at the 2nd anniversary, that there is a paid step up that comes, that at step 5 you get to use fragments for 1,200 rubies to guarantee pick any one unit of your choice, excluding collab units and summer and winter limited units. But yeah, this covers everything that we know about the first anniversary celebration. There is a lot of amazing content coming for COTC Global, with so many options that we get to do. And it is actually honestly incredible that the devs have given us such a very, very good anniversary. And I can't wait to see what the future of the game has to come. If you have any questions, please join the Octopath Traveler Discord. For any help, if you're not already in there, feel free to ask at any time, and I look forward to seeing the future of this game. Thank you very much. My name is Baxter Roxas. Thank you for watching. If you liked, please like, comment, and subscribe. And please feel free to maybe watch my Twitch, which will be linked below, as I do stream COTC content and all my polls. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a nice day, and happy anniversary.